directly or comes close
to their own needs and experience, and that this is just human nature. Many of us probably saw an example of this perspective in ourselves in the last few weeks with the LA fires. You probably know someone in the LA area who is impacted, and doesn't that make you more open to doing something to help? Did you have the same response to the fires in Maui? I myself became active in support of trans people after my own two offspring came out
out as trans.
It helped that I had worked professionally with a trans woman
When I was young and
I had previously.
met other trans youth.
I was aware of their stories. I heard their stories. My direct experiences helped me feel a connection to those young
Trans people today who are having
to move to other states with or without their families, to receive care and to be safe. But there are so many needs in the world. How do we make connections that matter and move us to act? If we wish to expand
our willingness
to show up for causes or for particular groups, we can intentionally connect ourselves using the power of stories. If you'd like to try something like this that will make you
more open to
service, as I often need to, you can tell yourself a story that connects you.
the need or cause.
I've done that unintentionally in the past.
And it was to good effect. When
The war in Ukraine first started and
we saw photos
and films and videos of bombed apartment houses, I said they looked just like my
mother's apartment house, and I said to myself, what if
she were living there right now. That connection made it easier for me to make action. I reached out to my mother's church
and arranged to help pay for rent to a family that had been evacuated.
I also used my mother's stories of being a refugee after
World War II to help
me relate and reach out to.
refugees in our own time.
And then working in the other direction, when I stand up
For trans youth, I now look for ways that I can tell our family's story.
because through those stories
I
I
hope to provide that connection
action
so that others might then
also stand up with us. Well, once we have a connection, we still have to decide what to do about it. And I find that knowing what action to take can also be a barrier for me. With President Carter's recent passing, I was reading
some of his comments, and I came across a particularly relevant